When I started college, my family's corporation was at its peak, sponsoring scholarships for dozens of students from low-income backgrounds. The campus belle, Ava Sterling, was one of them. Leveraging her scholarship and employing some other, less subtle tactics, I forced her to be my girlfriend for all 4 years. Right before graduation, my family's empire crumbled. On the day before commencement, I vanished without a word. Years later, I was working as a security guard in a luxury, gated community. She had become a Hollywood A-lister, and trailing behind her was Caleb Rivers, the former star athlete of our university, the one everyone always thought she should have been with. She cornered me against a wall, her eyes flashing with anger. I resigned myself to my fate. If you want revenge, just get it over with. She gripped my throat. I'm going to give back everything you ever gave me. The largest villa in the community had just been sold, and my supervisor had called me in to help the new owner with their luggage. I never imagined that the owner moving in would be my college girlfriend, Ava Sterling. I pulled my face mask up higher, trying to blend into a corner, terrified she would recognize the man who was now a security guard. She stepped through the grand entrance, scanning her new home. Caleb Rivers followed close behind. Ava and Caleb had been the power couple that never was in college. Seeing them together now, they looked perfect for each other. If it weren't for the underhanded methods I'd used, they would have been together years ago. As Ava headed towards the master bedroom, I let out a silent sigh of relief, thinking I'd gone unnoticed. But then, Caleb stopped me. "Hey you, the guard, help me with these clothes." I froze, so there was no escaping it after all. I lowered my voice, trying to make it raspy and unrecognizable. "Why, yes, sir." As I carried the clothes, I stole glances in Ava's direction. Thankfully, she still hadn't noticed me. I never would have dreamed that in just 5 years, our lives would have completely flipped. 2 assistants were with them, whispering to each other. "You think Caleb's going to propose to Ava, right?" "Definitely. Ava is so lucky. I wish that were me." "You? Have you heard what Caleb's making? He signed a multi-million-dollar contract with his new team." "Well, Ava's an A-list actress." For some reason, hearing their conversation made my heart hammer against my ribs. A bitter taste filled my mouth. The assistants giggled as they carried the remaining luggage into the master bedroom. I kept my head down, desperate to get out of the villa and away from their world. Crash! In my haste, I stumbled and knocked over a stack of boxes by the door. A pair of slightly yellowed white canvas sneakers tumbled out. My eyes locked onto them. Those sneakers. Why do they look so familiar? Before I could place them, Caleb's voice cut through the air, sharp and condescending. "What is wrong with the staff in this community? Can't you watch where you're going? You're lucky it was just a pair of beat-up old sneakers. If you had damaged something valuable, you couldn't afford to pay for it in 10 lifetimes." I mumbled apologies and bent down to pick them up, but my knee, which I'd slammed into the boxes, buckled, and I staggered. "Don't touch those shoes." Ava's voice was cold and commanding. She had emerged from the master bedroom at some point. Her words froze me in place, as if casting a spell. "Ms. Sterling, I'm so sorry. This guard is new. It's his first time seeing a big star like you. He's probably just a little nervous." "I'll take care of this," my supervisor said, appearing like a godsend to rescue me. He quickly ushered me out the door. "The owner of the house across the street is supposed to be back tomorrow. Go check and make sure everything is secure over there." I practically ran across the street. "Thanks, boss. I owe you. I'll buy you a milk tea later." "No problem." I ducked behind a hedge, gasping for air, forcing myself to calm down. I couldn't believe that after all this time, I had run into Ava again. I once told her she would never escape my grasp. Now I was the one hiding. I remembered the first time I saw her. She was standing at the campus entrance, recruiting for the dance club she had joined. As a dance major, she had a graceful figure and delicate features. Guys who had no intention of learning to dance would flock to her just to get a flyer from her hand. I didn't approach. I just watched her from the sidewalk across the street. For a whole week, she was there, handing out flyers. She was there for my 8 a.m. classes, and she was still there when I left my 9 p.m. labs. I learned from the freshman Facebook group that she had gotten into our university on a dance scholarship, excellent grades, and a corporate financial aid package. I had to admit, she was exactly my type. The way her top knot bounced when she moved was impossibly cute. Every time I passed the gate and saw her, I fell for her a little bit more. Finally, one morning before my 8 a.m. class, I snatched all the flyers from her hand and confessed. "Ava Sterling, I like you. Be my girlfriend, and you'll never have to stand out here in the sun and rain handing out flyers again. I'll even give you a $3,000 monthly allowance." She looked at me, her eyes completely devoid of emotion, and took the flyers back. "Sorry, I don't know you. Besides, I already like someone. Please have some self-respect." Without a doubt, I had been shot down. Rejected. The thrill of the chase. Growing up, I was the little emperor of my family. I got everything I ever wanted. If she rejected me today, I'd make her mine by tomorrow. Since she was on a corporate scholarship, it had to be connected to my family's company. I frantically searched through my father's computer until I found it. The file for the Walker Corporation scholarship awarded to Ava Sterling. The next day, I found her again, holding the file. Ava, if you don't agree to be my girlfriend, I'll have my dad revoke your scholarship. Ava froze, then her eyes widened as she stared at the file in my hand. You're Leo Walker? From the Walker Corporation? So she knew who I was. I nodded, a smug smile on my face. That's me. So what do you say? Ready to be my girlfriend now? Just when I thought she would meekly agree, she shot me down again. Mr. Walker, I don't need your scholarship. I can support myself just fine. Her immediate refusal and icy tone infuriated me. Fine. Don't say I didn't warn you. I grabbed the flyers from her hand and threw them into the air. Then I pulled her towards me and kissed her hard. MMPH. She clearly hadn't expected me to be so direct and struggled violently. But my temper was up. The more she fought, the harder I kissed her. After a full minute, I finally let her go. Seeing her face flushed crimson and the tears welling in her eyes gave me a sick sense of satisfaction. I shoved the file into her hands. From now on, you're my girlfriend. Ava ripped the scholarship papers to shreds, tears streaming down her defiant face. Mr. Walker, with your status, you could have any influencer you want. Why are you obsessed with a poor girl like me? Everyone else may bow down to you, but I won't. Her defiance only fueled my desire. I grabbed her hand, ready to force another kiss on her. If you won't submit, I'll kiss you until you do. Stop. Don't you dare touch her. A deep voice boomed from behind me, followed by a fist connecting with my face. Caught off guard, I crashed to the ground. The sharp pain stunned me for a moment before I could struggle back up and see who had hit me. It was the university's famous basketball star, Caleb Rivers. He was nearly 6.5 feet tall, built like a tank, and undeniably handsome. He must have been the one Ava liked. Caleb stood in front of Ava, looking down at me with contempt. I'm warning you, if you ever harass Ava again, it'll take more than one punch to solve it. With that, he took Ava's hand and led her away onto campus. My face darkened. I had never been humiliated like that in my entire life. Caleb Rivers. I'll remember that. That same day, I went to the hospital for a medical report on my injuries, contacted my family's lawyer, and by the afternoon, we had filed a police report. Caleb was brought into the local precinct for questioning. When I arrived at the station, Ava was right there by his side. My lawyer laid out our demands. We didn't want money, but we wanted Caleb to spend at least a few days in jail. The police officer, recognizing my family name, looked uneasy, citing the fact that we were all students. He strongly urged me to settle it privately. Ava was constantly comforting Caleb, whispering in his ear. Seeing them so close made the fire inside me burn hotter. A private settlement is out of the question, I declared. I have more than enough money. This medical report is enough to get him charged with assault. Leo, don't push it. We could press charges for sexual harassment. Caleb's face contorted with rage as he slammed his hand on the table and shot to his feet. Ava quickly pulled him back down. Her voice was hoarse. Mr. Walker, I know what you want. As long as you drop the charges, I'll agree to anything. And just like that, under Caleb's murderous glare, Ava Sterling became my girlfriend. I pinched her cheek, feeling a surge of triumph. See, this all could have been avoided if you had just said yes from the beginning. For the next 4 years, she was my shadow everywhere but the classroom. I took her on trips all over the country and dressed her in designer clothes. Ava, who was beautiful to begin with, became absolutely stunning with the help of my money. Rumors flew around campus that she had successfully latched onto a rich guy, that she was my kept woman. No other guy dared to approach her. I didn't care. What did it matter when all I had was money? But the good times didn't last. A month before graduation, a fire at one of our main factories burned the entire facility to the ground, causing numerous casualties. As the head of the corporation, my father took full responsibility and was sent to prison. My mother, unable to cope with the devastation, fell into a deep depression and passed away. Overnight, I fell from heaven into hell. With no family and no money, I had no way to control Ava anymore. Under those circumstances, how could I have the face to keep her as my girlfriend? So, on the day of commencement, I slipped away from the university and fled the city that held so many painful memories. 5 years. It wasn't until 5 years later that I met Ava again. She was, without a doubt, the woman I had seen something special in from the start. With her natural talent and solid dance foundation, she had graduated from the university's arts program and, in just 5 years, had become one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. And Caleb Rivers, the former campus jock, had leveraged his incredible basketball skills to become a star player in a professional league. He was her boyfriend now. I laughed at myself bitterly. A storybook ending. I guess money really can't buy love. I wasn't surprised they were back together. A pro athlete's multi-million-dollar salary was 1,000 times better than what I had now. Besides, he was tall, handsome, and successful. Without my money, I was nothing compared to him. The spot where I'd been hit by the boxes no longer hurt, but my heart felt like it was being pricked by 1,000 needles. Hey, Leo, I'm here to take over. The next security shift had arrived. It was time for me to clock out. A late spring chill made me shiver. As I stepped out of the guardhouse, I saw Ava, alone, about to walk out of the community. I immediately pulled the mask I had just taken off back over my face and turned my back to her. Click-clack, click-clack. As the sound of her high heels grew closer, my breathing became ragged. Is your knee okay? Her voice was as flat and emotionless as the day I first confessed to her. Me? I'm fine. Thanks. I stammered, caught off guard that she was talking to me. Several minutes passed in silence. I kept my back to her. It's so late. Could one of you guards walk with me through that unlit section of the path? She hadn't left. She was afraid of that dark stretch of road. I shook my head, fighting the impulse to say yes. With Caleb in her life, it wasn't my place to walk her anywhere. Sorry, I have to get home. She let out a soft, humorless laugh. Right, it's late. Your girlfriend must be waiting for you. I smiled grimly to myself, but didn't answer. When I remained silent, she spoke again, and this time, I could hear a trace of resentment in her voice. My boyfriend always teases me for being afraid of the dark. Says I can't even sleep with the lights off. The word boyfriend made my mind go blank. Back in college, I used to tease her all the time for being afraid of the dark. Was she talking about me? No, absolutely not. The bitter feeling in my chest intensified. Just as the last guard from the next shift left the guardhouse, Ava suddenly grabbed my arm and slammed me against the wall. Leo Walker, how long are you going to keep pretending? I know you even if you return to ash. She had recognized me. The scene was sickeningly familiar, a perfect mirror of the first time I had forced a kiss on her. The expression on her face was the same as mine had been back then, and I finally understood the suffocating pressure I had put her under. This was the first time since graduation that I had been this close to her. She was even more beautiful than she was 5 years ago. Her once youthful face now had a touch of mature elegance. Time, the great destroyer, had been kind to her. She pinned me, her hand on my neck, and leaning close to my ear. Her warm breath made my heart race. This is what you did to me, she whispered. You played with me for 4 years and then just vanished. Did you think that just because you were the great Leo Walker, my feelings didn't matter? A surge of something, shame, desperation, went through me, and I broke free from her hold, stumbling over my words. I was broke. I couldn't give you the life you were used to. I couldn't control you anymore. She slapped me across the face. You think I was with you for 4 years just for your money? Wasn't it? That. And because I let Caleb, before I could finish, Caleb's voice cut in. Ava, are you okay? I quickly stepped to the side, putting as much distance between us as possible. Caleb's towering frame was instantly recognizable, and just as intimidating as I remembered. You're Leo Walker. Caleb stared down at me for a long moment. I finally found you. Well, look how the mighty have fallen. How did Mr. Big Shot end up as a security guard? The words Mr. Big Shot shattered the last shred of dignity I had left. Just desserts, I guess. He walked over to Ava and gently smoothed her hair, which had been ruffled by the wind. Ava, I couldn't do anything about the rich kid, but I can definitely teach a lowly security guard a lesson. Ava waved a dismissive hand. He did take care of me for 4 years in his own way. Let's not. Just give him some money and tell him to find another job. Seeing them together, acting like a couple, I suppressed my anger and forced myself to speak with a confidence I didn't feel. There's no need. My fiancée is the daughter of one of my dad's old business partners. I don't need the money. When we get married, I'll be sure to invite you too. You make an enviable couple. Caleb scoffed. I didn't dare look at Ava's reaction, but I heard her say in a low, chilling voice, Leo Walker, I'm going to give back everything you ever gave me. The fiancé I had used as an excuse, of course, didn't exist. After graduation, I was penniless. Forget a girlfriend. I couldn't even get a dog to look at me twice. The next morning, I was woken up by a call from my supervisor telling me to come to the management office. Ms. Sterling from yesterday, he said, barely containing his excitement. She wants to hire you as her exclusive household manager. I was about to refuse when Ava's voice came from behind me. Leo Walker, I'll pay you your current salary plus an extra $3,000 a month. My salary was enough to live on, but an extra $3,000 wasn't nearly enough to make me face this couple every single day. I couldn't do it. $3,000 for my exclusive services? Stop playing with me, Ms. Sterling. A small, knowing smile played on her beautiful lips. That's funny. You once offered me $3,000 a month to be your girlfriend. I never thought a careless line I'd thrown out 9 years ago would be something she'd remember so clearly. Seeing me hesitate, Ava turned to my supervisor. Let him come with me, and I'll make a personal donation of $1 million to the Community Management Fund. At the mention of $1 million, my supervisor was so stunned he knocked his cup of water over. He practically pushed me towards Ava. Leo, I've looked out for you all these years. Now it's your turn to help me and all your coworkers out. His words left me with no room to refuse. Being the youngest on the team, the others had always taken special care of me. Ava knew she had won. She gestured for me to follow her. I slumped into a chair and crossed my legs. It's my day off, and I have 5 days of vacation saved up. I'll think about it after I get back from trip with my fiancé. Ava clearly didn't believe me. She grabbed my chin, her expression playful. What do you think your fiancé would do if I kissed you right now? Had your supervisor film it and posted it online. I glanced at my supervisor. The old guy had whipped out his phone with a speed I'd never seen before. Camera pointed right at us. Defeated, I had no choice but to agree. I followed Ava to her villa. She reached for my hand, but I kept pulling away. Ms. Sterling, we're not college kids anymore. You're a famous actress, and I'm a security guard. We're nothing more than an employer and an employee. At that, Ava seemed to snap. Her voice rose to a yell. Isn't this exactly how you forced me to be your girlfriend? Now do you know how it feels? Her outburst made me flinch. I'm sorry, I said, my voice barely a whisper. If you want revenge, just take it out on me. Ava's face was flushed with anger. She pulled me into the villa and took a new pair of white canvas sneakers from the shoe cabinet, handing them to me. These shoes are. I recognized them instantly. They were the same style as the ones that had fallen out of the box yesterday, but in my size. This style was the first gift you ever gave me. Now you can put these on. Consider it the first gift I've ever given you. It all clicked. No wonder those shoes had looked so familiar. She had kept the gift I gave her all these years. My worn-out security boots looked completely out of place on the polished floor. I had no reason to refuse, so I started to bend down to change them. Ah, damn it. The moment I squatted, a sharp pain shot through the knee I had injured yesterday. I collapsed onto the floor. As someone used to manual labor, I knew this kind of strain injury meant I wouldn't be able to get up for a few minutes. Let me help you to the sofa. Ava pointed to the couch and reached for my arms. Don't. I'll be fine in a minute. My pride, which I thought had been shattered long ago, flared up, and I rejected her help. I told you, she said, her voice firm. From now on, you listen to me. Before I could protest, she pulled me up and helped me over to the sofa. Seeing the strain on her face from the effort, I couldn't understand. If she wanted to punish me, why was she being so caring? Roll up your pant leg. Let me see the injury. I immediately refused. My knee was badly bruised. It had turned a dark purple overnight, and I didn't want her to see it. It's nothing, my knee is... As if she hadn't heard me, Ava reached down and started pulling up my pant leg herself. I instinctively tried to pull it back down, trying to hide the massive bruise. After a brief struggle, she grabbed my knee directly. A jolt of intense pain made me recoil instantly. See? It hurts, doesn't it? This wouldn't have happened if you had just listened to me. She scolded me while pulling out a bottle of muscle rub, pouring some in her palm, and gently massaging it into my bruised knee. 5 years. Her hands were still just as warm. Watching her tend to my injury so carefully, it felt as if we were back in college, back when we were in love. An unrealistic thought floated into my mind. If it hadn't been for that fire, would we still be together now? I shook my head, forcing myself back to reality, and gently removed her hand. I feel much better. Ava put the ointment away and sat down next to me. Tell me about your fiancée. Maybe I know her. I was momentarily stunned. Her? Oh, you definitely don't know her. We only met a couple of years ago. Ava stared at me, her gaze unwavering. Leo Walker, you've really gone downhill. Do you honestly think you can lie to me? If she's the daughter of a business partner, how could you have only met her 2 years ago? Caught in my lie, I nervously rubbed my hands together. Seeing my silence, Ava pressed on. Why did you lie to me? Just as I was scrambling for an answer, I spotted a basketball in the corner of the room. An idea sparked. Caleb proposed to you, didn't he? Congratulations. I'll be sure to give you a generous wedding gift. Ava let out a soft laugh and answered, enunciating each word. Whatever was between him and me ended for good that day at the police station, thanks to you. I thought back to yesterday when I was moving the luggage. I hadn't seen any men's clothing. Then why was he? Ava seemed to know what I was going to ask. Before I could finish, she opened a file on her phone. It turned out that 2 months ago, she had signed a 1-year endorsement deal with the state's professional basketball team, where she ran into Caleb again. Under the guise of being old classmates, Caleb had volunteered to be a liaison for the endorsement, which was why he was always around her. Learning the truth, I felt a massive weight lift off my shoulders. But then I remembered it didn't really matter. Caleb was the one who deserved the Ava of today, not me. Ava cupped my face with both hands, her lips hovering just inches from mine. Since you don't have a girlfriend, and I don't have a boyfriend, let's get back together. She smelled the same as she had 5 years ago, a faint, lovely scent of lavender. It had always been my favorite. Just as I was about to lose all control and kiss her, a large hand yanked me off the sofa. Mister, big shot. What gives you the right to kiss Ava now? It was Caleb. The front door had been left open, and he had walked right in. He pulled out his phone and opened our university's alumni group chat. I've already posted pictures of you working as a security guard, along with your salary, for everyone to see. Let's all have a look at how well the great Leo Walker is doing these days. Ha! He had been taking pictures of me yesterday, saluting residents' cars, picking up after their dogs, deliberately capturing my most undignified moments. I knew his goal was to humiliate me into leaving Ava alone. But he didn't know that I had been good to most people, and more importantly, many of the students our family's corporation had sponsored were in that alumni group. My phone started ringing almost immediately. It was Liam Hansen, my old college roommate and best friend. He worked in an office building right next to the community, and in less than 10 minutes, he was at the door. Leo, do you have any idea how long Pete and I have been looking for you? Your family gave us a chance to succeed, and we'll never forget that. You gave us our shot, and now it's our turn to pay you back. Seeing how frantic he was, a wave of warmth washed over me. At the same time, I learned what had happened after I graduated. After I left, Ava had turned down a major job offer she had already accepted and started searching for me like a madwoman all over the world. After 6 months of fruitless searching, she began training day and night, practicing her dancing and singing, and entering one talent competition after another. She finally won big, then worked relentlessly, filming movies and TV shows back to back. In just 5 years, she had become a top-tier star with a brilliant career ahead of her. Liam clapped me on the shoulder. She worked that hard just to find you again. And you? You just played with her feelings and then disappeared. It's one thing to ghost us, your friends, but how could you just forget Ava? My heart pounded so hard I felt unsteady on my feet. I thought her feelings for me were all based on the allowance I gave her. Liam punched me hard, sending me to the floor. Do you really think Ava Sterling cared about your money? She was genuinely in love with you, you idiot. Ignoring the pain in my cheek, I stared up at my disappointed friend. 9 years. From the moment Ava agreed to my terms at the police station until now, I had never dared to believe it. The girlfriend I had blackmailed and bought with a $3,000 monthly allowance had actually liked me all along. Even back then, when I gave her the allowance, she had still insisted on handing out flyers for the dance club and working part-time jobs. She always used to tell me, I'll pay you back all this money someday. And since you're willing to show me the world, I'll do my part as a girlfriend and be there for you emotionally. Now I finally understood. She wasn't doing it for the money. She had been my girlfriend with all her heart. That night, Liam and I got completely wasted. The next day, Caleb found me. Mister, big shot. Ava is coming to our team's training facility to shoot a promotional video. And this time, we're co-starring. Caleb's smug expression filled me with jealousy. I clenched my fists. Ava already told me, you're just a suitor. You don't have to try and provoke me. Caleb looked surprised, then sneered. So you know, but so what? A basketball star like me is the only one who deserves her now. You're just a security guard. What do you have that can possibly compare? Well, I didn't respond. His mockery grew sharper. What do you think would happen to Ava's career if the tabloids found out she had a boyfriend like you? What would her fans think? What would her sponsors think? Caleb's words were a dagger straight to my heart. But the most hurtful words are often the truest. Real life isn't some romance novel where the powerful CEO falls for her security guard. If a top young actress was suddenly linked to a poor security guard, her fans would abandon her, her career would tank, and she'd be blacklisted by the industry. As much as I hated to admit it, I had to accept reality. I'd already held her back for 4 years. I couldn't ruin her life now. What do you want? I asked. Caleb laid out a plan to make Ava give up on me for good. He found a former classmate we all knew, Hannah Stewart, to pretend to be my fiancée. Ava knew that Hannah had a huge crush on me in college. When I walked up to Ava with Hannah on my arm, her face turned dark. Ms. Sterling, I wasn't lying. This is my fiancée, Hannah Stewart. Hannah beamed, reveling in what was likely the first time she had ever gotten one up on Ava. Ava ignored her completely and walked straight toward me. She slapped my hand away from Hannah's, her voice a low growl. You're mine. Did I give you permission to date her? Is she better than me? Ava's reaction left me speechless. I couldn't meet her eyes, so I stared at the floor. She's been with me for 3 years. She stuck by me even after my family went bankrupt and I became a security guard. Caleb, seeing his plan reach its climax, stepped up beside Ava and said gently, Ava, since our mister Big Shot has found his true love, we shouldn't stand in his way. I've taken the liberty of repaying him the $3,000 a month he gave you in college. Let's just consider this a clean break. He had, in fact, transferred the money to Hannah as payment for her acting. If looks could kill, Ava's glare would have vaporized me on the spot. Leo Walker, I'm giving you one last chance. Are you really choosing this woman? I had been with Ava for 4 years. I knew I couldn't fool her. I glanced at Caleb for help. Caleb subtly touched his lips. I knew what he meant. Ms. Sterling, if you don't believe me, I'll kiss Hannah right in front of you. To avoid messing up the act, I closed my eyes and waited for Hannah to kiss me. I hoped this scene would finally make Ava forget about me. I would take the pain. She could take her beautiful life and walk back down her path of stardom. I don't know how much time passed, but then a soft pair of lips met mine. My tense body began to relax. The immense pressure I was under seemingly shattered by that gentle touch. Wait, that's the scent of lavender. I opened my eyes. It wasn't Hannah. It was that exquisitely beautiful face. I immediately pushed Ava away, my heart hammering in my chest, and stared at her in disbelief. Ava smirked, triumphant. If a kiss is what proves she's your fiancé, then I guess I'm your fiancé now. Seeing the plan had gone completely off the rails, Caleb didn't give me a chance to respond. He angrily threw both me and Hannah out of the training facility. For the next month, I didn't hear from Ava or Caleb. Every time I patrolled by Ava's villa, it was empty. Just when I thought the whole affair was over, a massive story broke online. A-list actress Ava Sterling in love with a security guard. Fall from grace. Hollywood star a homecrecker. Top celebrity Ava Sterling's secret boy toy. The headlines were everywhere, trending on every platform. I clicked on one of the videos. It clearly showed the entire scene, including the kiss between me and Ava. Our whole conversation was perfectly audible. Only then did I realize this was all Caleb's revenge. He had secretly contacted the media beforehand, had them hiding where we met, and recorded the entire setup. Then, he had it edited and released to the public. The online comments were vile. I used to be a fan because she seemed so real. Can't believe she's a homewrecker. Seriously, WTF? I literally just paid for a premium subscription to her streaming service. Disgusting. She's even going after security guards. Can't imagine how messy her private life is. The comments made my own blood boil with rage. I couldn't imagine the pressure Ava must be under as the target of it all. I called her immediately. Ava, don't say anything. I'll handle this. Let me take the fall. I ruined 4 years of your life. Let this be my way of paying you back all at once. Buffed. Ha. She laughed on the other end of the line. Leo Walker, you're still worried about me. Her reaction stunned me. How could she possibly be laughing right now? Stop joking around. If this isn't handled properly, your career will be over. Leo, don't worry about it. Let me handle it. Come to my house tomorrow. I didn't understand how Ava could be so calm. I couldn't wait until tomorrow. That night, I rushed over to her villa. The moment I opened the door, Ava threw herself into my arms. I knew you used to like me. Let's get back together. I pushed her away gently. How can you be thinking about romance at a time like this? I said, exasperated. Ava pulled me into a room and expertly started an Instagram live stream. The second it went live, a flood of hateful comments filled the screen. Ava's smile completely unfazed. Hello everyone, it's Ava Sterling. If you watch this video, you'll understand the truth behind everything. She played a video. It showed clips of us from years ago. Our first meeting, my first arrogant confession, our first date, our first trip. It showed my silent departure and a montage of her desperate 5-year search for me. Finally, it showed our reunion, followed by the complete, unedited footage of Caleb's trap. The comments in the live chat instantly shifted from curses to messages of support, emotion, and apology. The number of viewers skyrocketed, setting a new record for her channel. GIFs and special effects flooded the screen. The scenes in the video struck the most vulnerable part of my heart. Before I knew it, tears were streaming down my face. Ava, I never knew you felt that way about me. Ava placed a finger on her lips, signaling me to be quiet. She turned, picked up a large bouquet of red roses and a ring, the one I had given her in college, and got down on one knee. Her voice choked with emotion. Leo Walker, will you marry me and take care of me for the rest of our lives? I wiped my tears with my sleeve, helped her to her feet, took the roses and the ring, and then got down on one knee myself. Ava Sterling, will you marry me? Ava giggled, pouting her lips. I'll marry you on one condition. You have to promise you'll never disappear again. I nodded eagerly, holding the ring and roses up higher. Ava Sterling, marry me. On the phone screen, which I couldn't see, a tidal wave of marry him. Comments had already taken over the chat. She held out her right hand and nodded her head emphatically. I will. Yes, I will. Our proposal, witnessed and blessed by millions of Ava's fans, was perfect. That night, we deliriously made up for 5 years of lost time. When I woke up the next morning, I searched the entire villa, but I couldn't find Ava. Just as confusion set in, the front door opened, and Ava walked in with my father. I smacked my forehead. Today was the day my dad was being released from prison. How could I have forgotten? How did you know my dad's release date? My father raised a hand and playfully swatted me. You brat. It's a good thing my daughter-in-law was here to pick me up, or I'd have tanned your hide. I looked from my father to Ava. Daughter-in-law. Dad, you know. My father laughed. A booming sound that showed years in prison hadn't diminished his old charisma one bit. Ava told me everything this morning. I've already picked a date for your wedding. It's next week. A week later, in front of our friends, family, and half of Hollywood, we stood at the altar. During the ceremony, Ava stared into my eyes and asked, Leo Walker, it's been 9 years. I'm going to ask you one last time. Do you love me? I looked around the church, then back at her, my gaze completely sincere. I love you. She took out a bank card and placed it in my hand. This is everything I've earned over the years. Today, I'm officially handing over financial control to you. Don't kill me with kindness. Ava was giving our family a chance to rise again. She continued, when I first agreed to be your girlfriend, I thought you'd get bored of me after a semester. I never imagined you'd stay with me for all 4 years of college. During the 5 years you were gone, I thought our story was over. But when I found you again, I realized I hadn't been searching for you out of some obligation to repay you for those 4 years. I had been searching for you because I had fallen completely in love with you, with your arrogance, with your everything. I couldn't hold back any longer. I leaned in and kissed her deeply. True love, I realized, transcends material things. It doesn't care about rich or poor, sickness or health. It was love that had carried Ava through 5 years of hardship and brought her here, to me, at this altar. And I knew, with absolute certainty, that Ava and I would walk the rest of life's road together, until time itself forgot we ever existed.